So I've been cleaning up hoarder homes professionally for 4 years now, and I often rate them on a scale of 1 through 5. And one of my top questions from you guys is what that scale means and what each number is actually referencing to. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the 5 levels of hoarding and what each number means when we say something like a level 3 hoard, for example. So let's start off with level 1. I essentially will never do a job for a level 1 hoarder. That's simply because those kind of jobs can easily be done by a professional organizer or even just a housemaid. As you can see in this photo, it just looks a bit cluttery, a little bit overcrowded. Some dishes have been maybe left out for a day or two, but honestly nothing too bad that should cause concern for most people. Simply put, it's really just a mild attachment to some redundant items and an inefficient use of space. Also, the majority of this content is coming from a resource guide that Spalding Decon put out on their website, so full credit to them and their team for explaining the nuances of hoarding disorder and getting the word out there. Let's talk about level 2. This is still something I don't typically do that often, but every now and then a maid company may turn down a client and they have nowhere else to go to besides people like me. What we're looking at is generally just a lot more trash. There may be some garbage bags starting to pile up in the corner of the house that they just never got to. If they have pets, we might see a lot of full litter boxes and pet fur on the furniture. Storage facilities like cabinets and closets are completely full to the brim and maybe starting to pile up in the hallway blocking access. This is a critical point in a lot of hoarders' lives because this is the moment where they begin to feel embarrassed about their home situation and they either get help for it or they start to self-isolate and the problem gets much worse. The ones that catch themselves here and get the help that they need often have a very speedy recovery and avoid what a lot of our level 3 or 4 or 5 clients describe as a nightmare situation. So what does a level 3 house look like? Well, these are actually my favorite kind of jobs because they look pretty extreme and overwhelming, but they're very manageable with a team that knows what they're doing. Level 3 will have most bedrooms look like this and be unusable for its intended purpose. You'll see a lot of trash and food waste piling up on the floor, making it extremely difficult to move around. Bug and rat infestations are common. Toilets and showers begin breaking down, not allowing the client to take care of personal hygiene. Often people in these situations are at risk of getting evicted from their home, and the mess is so beyond any one person's capability, they will call people like me to get it done for them. Level 4 is when things start to get bad in my opinion. This is typically the point where the home is so badly hoarded that the client has to make a nest on top of all their stuff just so that they can sleep at night. It's actually really sad to see in person. Usually toilets have completely stopped working for a couple of weeks or months, and they've begun resorting to other methods to dispose of their waste. Depending on what they hoarded, the smell can be absolutely horrendous. More often than not, we're using several 40-yard dumpsters to clear out the home, and we need a whole team of hazmat suit cleaners just to get rid of the bio in the homes. You'll also start seeing some pretty bad structural damage like this, and that's not a very fun thing to deal with. Level 5 is the worst of the worst though. Most of our clients at level 3 and 4 assume that their home is the worst thing that people like me have ever seen, and whenever they say that, I always chuckle and say that they have no idea how bad things can actually get. A level 5 hoard will almost always have every single room have stuff piled up all the way to the ceiling with just trash and stuff and garbage, essentially blocking access from anywhere you need to go to in the home. This is when we start to have some pretty serious avalanche concerns because that legitimately happens and you can seriously get hurt if you're not careful enough. Power has typically been cut off from the home and plumbing has been out of order for years now. All human waste is usually disposed of in buckets and generally just stay within the hoard somewhere. Pet feces and rat infestations are absolutely insane at this point. If they ever had pets in the past that died or mysteriously disappeared, we'll more often than not find them buried beneath the hoard, either rotting away or just in complete skeletons at this point. I've done quite a number of level 5 hoards and they're always the most insane things I've ever seen. They're always so different from one another, and I could probably talk for days on the things I've seen in those situations. They're crazy. So that's a brief summary of the 5 levels of hoarding. I hope that was really insightful for you guys, and huge shout out for Spalding for having this resource guide in the first place. I'll link that information down below if you guys find that helpful. So don't be afraid to reach out to me if you guys need any help or resources specific to your location. I'll leave my contact information down below to check out if you need anything at all. I think everyone deserves a clean, healthy home again, and I want to help wherever I can. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.